Hello everyone, Silent here. Welcome back to another Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today we have a very simple, cheap, and efficient blaze farm for your world. This thing is going to get you a ton of experience and blaze rods as well. And look at that, absolutely beautiful. The farm itself is extremely small and also very cheap and simple to put together. All we really have on the inside here is a bunch of pressure plates, some redstone dust, and then some pistons. And what that is going to do is actually push all the blazes that spawn in this farm directly to the center and directly to the kill chamber, which is exactly what you want. This thing is pretty much as fast as it can be. And as you can see, no matter where the blazes spawn in this thing, they're always going to get pushed to the center really quickly. So it's a very simple and basic concept, and we made it in a very small space as well. Down at the bottom here, we have some really basic redstone to get these guys down to a one-hit kill, and there's also a filtering system to separate out new blazes, which are undamaged, and the old blazes, which have been crushed to be one-hit kill. So we can unflick that lever, reflick it to filter off any new blazes, press the button, and now these guys are going to get crushed down to one-hit kill with either our sword or a potion of harming. And that is pretty much as basic as that. We have item collection right here, which you can move wherever you like. And as you can see, these guys are now one-hit kill, which is pretty awesome. So stay tuned for the full tutorial of this farm. And if you guys do want to see more Bedrock Edition tutorials, then be sure to leave a like on the video and maybe share it with your friends, because that stuff really truly does help out the channel quite a bit. Anyway, with that stuff out of the way, let's get to some further details about this farm. So this farm is a massive upgrade from my previous Bedrock Edition Blaze farm, which is this monstrosity over here. This thing is way more expensive, way more complex, and way more labor intensive to build than this farm. So if you have this one, you can still use it, it still works fine. However, if you don't have a Blaze farm, definitely build this one over that one any day of the week. And the first thing you're going to notice about this farm is that it is a diamond. Why is it a diamond? Aren't the spawner, spaces in 9x9 square? Well, actually no. Since this tutorial went out for the monstrosity farm over there, we have learned some very important mechanics about how spawners actually spawn mobs in this game. They actually spawn mobs in a 9x9 diamond. It's not a square like how Java and console have it. So you can basically pillar out by 4 blocks from each side of the spawner and then just connect the corners, and that is the area that it will spawn mobs in. So as you can see, we have the walls just outside of that, meaning that we're not obstructing any spawning spaces for our spawner here. So the full mechanics for how mob spawners on Bedrock Edition actually work was discovered by Gruvaguy. He did a lot of testing, put in many hours to figure out all the different mechanics that go into mob spawners on Bedrock. I will have a link to his very informative video in the description and also in the upper right now. Definitely go check it out if you want to see how these things just actually work. And just on his channel in general, you'll find a lot of very informative videos about the behind the scenes of how this game functions. So if you want to learn some more about Bedrock Edition, go check out his channel. He has some very good videos. So that is all the details that you really need to know about this farm. So if all that stuff out of the way, let's actually move on to the tutorial. The first thing you're going to need to do is actually disable your mob spawner and then also mine out the area that you require to build the actual farm. So step 1, disabling the farm, is actually extremely simple. All you need is 1 piece of glowstone on each side of your blaze spawner, and it will no longer spawn blazes, which is actually way too easy. Like, it should not be that easy, but apparently it is. And after that, you need to mark out the area that you need to mine out. So from your blaze spawner, you want to go out by 6 blocks in each direction, and this is bare minimum that you would be needing to mine out. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We can do that on this side as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this side as well, I guess. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then just connect the corners up. And that is the area that you need to mine out to build your farm. So this is the full area that you would need to mine out for your farm. Again, this is a bare minimum to actually fit all of that stuff in. And then what you need to do from here is actually mine down by 15 blocks. So from underneath your spawner, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15, and again in this general shape as well, and that is all the space that you will need to actually build your farm. So with this tutorial, we're going to be building the farm from the bottom upwards. Last time I did a blaze farm, I did it from the top down, and that was just kind of confusing for everyone. So we're going to be trying it differently this time and building it from the bottom up. Anyway, this block right here is directly underneath your blaze spawner, which you can see right here. And then underneath this, I just have a carpet, a hopper, and a chest. Just some very, very basic storage. And around this, you want 3 blocks up on either side and 3 blocks up in the back as well. We're going to get rid of that block right there. And then two blocks up right here, you can have, of course, a piece of glass right here, or you can build this out of pretty much whatever you like. We'll get to the redstone at the end of this farm. So from here, everything needs to be built out of glass, every single thing, because otherwise you're going to have mobs spawning inside of your farm, and that could theoretically break it if you actually have like a baby magma cube or something spawn inside of your farm. So we're going to be building everything out of glass. Okay, so what I did right here is just the very basic structure for the bottom platform. So 2 blocks out in each direction, then you want a pressure plate on top of each one of these, and then redstone dust right here. And then you want pieces of glass going up in the backside right here to carry more redstone and carry the signal up to the pistons. So then redstone dust on top of each one of these, and then you want a piston right here. And this is going to push all your blazes to the center, as you can see. As you can see from that. Okay, so that's pretty simple, right? Now, with this farm, I will be including all of the pressure plates. However, for you in survival, I would wait until the very end of the farm to actually put in all the pressure plates. Otherwise, you're going to be getting pushed all around this thing and falling down places. It's not going to be a good time, so just wait until the very end to actually include all the pressure plates and actually fully enable the farm. And hopefully that makes it a much more enjoyable build experience. So these 4 blocks right here, you do need. These are actually part of the farm, and that's going to block the blazes' line of sight to you, to anyone outside of the farm. Very, very important, because otherwise these guys are going to start trying to fight you and try and kill you, and just bad times. Just bad times, guys. Just make sure you put all the blocks in place. So that is the very first layer done. From here, every layer is basically the same. So we're going to be starting with this block right here, and I'm going to be switching up colored glass in between each layer so that you can tell the difference. And basically we're going to continue on with this same kind of structure. However, it's going to be expanded a little bit to have more pistons, more pressure plates, and more redstone. So as you can see, we're going to extend this out by 1 block as well. So behind each and every single one of these, you want redstone dust, and that is pretty simple. And then block up from all of these as well, and then just redstone on the back of that. So let me get this one built up, and hopefully you guys get the idea behind how this layer is put together. So this is the basics of layer 2. This one is going to be slightly different from the first one because we're going to have to change up the piston layout just a tad bit. But you'll notice that there's some redstone out of place over here, and that is because of that. We'll get to that in a second, but I just want to clarify that this right here is the front of the farm, and this is where you will be standing to kill the blazes. So make sure you got your orientation correct when you're building this. Alrighty, so now for the pistons. It's very simple, 1 on top of each of these redstone dust right here, and then in the corners here, you want to just pillar up with some blocks right there to keep the blazes out. Now, behind each one of these pistons, you also want redstone dust, and that should be pretty much as simple as that. Honestly, not a hard farm to build, and I'm just trying to do it in a orderly manner so that no one gets confused. And that is really it for layer 2, where whenever you stand on one of these pressure plates, all 3 of these ones should extend, and they do, and then this one should extend as well. Nice. So layer 3 starts right here, and you basically just keep building up, and by now you guys probably can figure out how the rest of the farm goes. So we're going to extend this out by 1 block. I'm going to get the infrastructure in, and then I'll show you guys how to set up the pistons. So here is the layout for all of the pressure plates. As you can see, they are directly above all of these pistons. Same for these pressure plates down here. And that is pretty much all there is to it. So now you just need to get in this little wall around the edges for your redstone dust. And that is as simple as that. We're going to be mirroring this section down here. So we're going to be excluding redstone dust from this location, this location. So basically just spam dust in all of these spots. And that should be all the dust that you need. And then behind these as well, and not there, and something a little bit like that. That should be all the redstone dust you need as far as I'm aware. And then just put in your pistons, and that is actually this layer complete. As you guys can see, extremely easy farm to build up. and then just blocks in these locations. Forgot that piston right there. And then blocks in these locations as well. And that is layer 3 done. Whenever something stands on one of these 5 pressure plates, it's going to extend all of these 5 pistons right here. And it does very fine. This side is also functioning as well. Very nice. And that is the end of layer 3. So layer 4 is the final layer, and it is basically the last thing that you need to do with this farm besides the redstone at the bottom, which is actually completely optional. You don't really need it. But from here, what you want to do is put in all of your redstone dust and just basically put them in these locations right here. We're going to be skipping these corners right here because this is where our additional side pusher goes in. So redstone dust right here, and that looks about right. So then behind each and every single one of these, you want dust on these blocks to power your pistons, of course. Same thing as the lower layers, and it looks like that should just about do it. And then again, just place in the pistons on top of all of these pieces of redstone dust. And then just the 2 pillars right here on either side to block the line of sight. And that is basically your entire farm complete. From here, you want to build up walls that are 3 blocks tall above each and every single one of your pistons. You can build these out of whatever you like. However, I'll be using glass because it looks rather nice. And you can also put a roof on top of this farm too if you feel like it. Because falling into a blaze farm isn't really a good thing. I would not enjoy doing that. So the roof goes at this layer right here, and that is pretty much all there really is to it, guys. So now it's time to get in your lower crushing circuit to get all of your blazes down to 1-hit kill. And this thing is very easy to get in place as well. What you want to do is have 2 sticky pistons facing that way to the right side of your farm. Right here, replace this block right here with a piece of glass so you don't deal additional damage to your blazes. And then right here, you want 2 slabs, piece of redstone dust right there, and a repeater that way. So right here on the front, you want 2 blocks up, a lever right here, and a button right here. So this lever is going to control the kind of separator to section off all the unharmed blazes and then the damaged blazes down here. And this button is going to control your crusher. So right here, you want another block up right there. And then 5 blocks along like this. So that is 5 by 2, 2 pieces of redstone dust right there, piece of redstone dust right there, and a block. And then just 3 comparators going in a direction like that. That's going to create a pulse extender to keep this piston extended for a very long time. Enough time to get the blazes down to very low health. And then just a block with redstone dust right there. And that is literally all of your redstone complete. So now what I've done is actually re-enable the blaze spawner by removing all the glowstone. And that is what you can do along with putting in all of your pressure plates. And that is pretty simple. So now this thing is ready to go. We can unflip this lever right here. All the blazes will fall down into our kill chamber. We can reflick the lever, press the button. These guys will get crushed down to a 1-hit kill with our sword and or our potion. And that is very fine. Very, very fine indeed. So wait for these guys to get crushed. And as you can see, they are now a 1-hit kill. Awesomeness. And I really like this farm. Hope you guys get a lot of use out of this in your world. It's definitely a very good blaze farm. Don't know how you could really make this thing a much smaller. I tried to compact it down with that version over there, but it gets really messy with the redstone. So I decided to make it a slightly larger farm and just keep it dead simple. And hopefully you guys appreciate that. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys do want to see more Bedrock Edition tutorials. Share if your friend, maybe subscribe to the channel so you guys see future Bedrock Edition tutorials. And I thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys down in the comment section and in the next video. And then there was silence.